Welcome to Taking the Reins of Your Career, a video series where I tackle your questions about how to be a leader in your work life. I'm Cathy Wasserman, and I'm a leadership and career coach, a group facilitator, a writer, and a social experimentatrice. Through my business, Self-Leadership Strategies, I've helped hundreds of individuals over the last decade and a half to realize important professional and personal goals and really make their contribution and mark on the world. And I'm here today to help you to do the same. This month's question comes from Jessica, who writes, I feel like I've been stuck in the same type of support positions for several years. My days are spent at a desk and my position is primarily task-based. I'd love to break through and have a more interactive, meaningful, and challenging position. Frankly, I get bored sitting in an office all day and I'm not at all satisfied. I'm certainly very grateful to have a job, but would love to have a deeper sense of satisfaction, particularly since I have young children and want to model being a work-life leader for them. However, like many working parents, my free time is limited and not all that flexible. Given that I have very little free time to volunteer or commit, how can I get that jump start to transition into a meaningful career? I think the big piece of advice I want to give you is to think super creatively about how you seize the day in your office. And what I mean by that is, how do you think really creatively and outside the box about how to expand your duties either in your current job or to assist colleagues or even your boss with some of their work. It's very important to get that exposure, and so you really want to get a sense to start, what is it for you that feels like it would be meaningful, important, interactive work? How do you define that? What would that work look like? What would those projects look like? What skills would you be building? What skills that you have now but you aren't tapping into would you like to tap into? Write it down. Get a vision and a mission statement about what this expansion beyond a support role would really look like. Get the texture and the feeling. And once you know that, think very strategically about who you're going to approach and when. Chat with folks and find out first from your boss if you can, is it possible to expand your role? Have a sit down, or at least ponder the possibility of a sit down. If your boss doesn't have anything for you to do, or you're not comfortable chatting with your boss, you may want to talk to some colleagues and say, look, I'd love to help out. What's on your dashboard? What is it that you're working on now that maybe you need some additional help with? How can I help out? And let them know, if it feels comfortable and appropriate, what your vision is for how you want to expand your contributions. Over the years, I've worked with many, many people doing this. It's very doable. So your prognosis is actually great, but it takes time. It can take several months. And so sometimes it can be useful to actually write out a plan. What are the steps you're taking? Who are you going to chat with? What are the skills you want to build? What is it that really is your vision around this? And how are you going to plot it out over the coming weeks and months? And really write it down. Share it with friends. Share it with your support team. Get feedback. Get ideas for what else you maybe didn't think of that could help you expand what it is, that you're doing. And celebrate your successes. Know, if you can, on a weekly basis, what have you done this week to make that transition, and really keep your eye on the larger prize, which is to be a work-life leader, which is to much more fully tap into your gifts and take responsibility for them so that you're out there in the world contributing in a way that's most meaningful to you and makes a difference. So I hope this was helpful, Jessica. I'd love to hear how it goes, the experiments you run on this transition. And I'd love to hear from you all what your ideas and advice is for Jessica. Please feel very free to share your thoughts in the comments section. If you're interested in learning more about my work, you can find me at self-leadershipstrategies.com or at Idealist Careers. I've really enjoyed talking to you. This has been great, and I look forward to seeing you next time.